Been dragging the bottom for oh so long, but I can feel that power running strong. It's in the air, I can feel it now. The dragon's walls are crumbling down, and it's time to fly as I say goodbye to the problems that's been dragging me down, so that we gonna rock and roll, sing it from my soul, like we did when the king wore a crown. This is a declaration.
What's going on, everybody? Sorry, a little brief intro there. Had to get some things rocking and rolling, and had to make some changes. Leeroy is back in the building. There he is. Welcome, Leeroy.
What's going on, folks?
You here. We got a lot to do tonight. Whole bunch to do. We're just going to get to it. Do me a favor. If you have not had a chance to like, share, subscribe, all that type of stuff, please do that. And hold on. We got a lot to do tonight, and we can't wait to do it with you. I guess that's allowed to be said.
That sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome. It's good. Welcome back, buddy. Good to have you home.
Thank you. It's good to be home.
Yes, everyone's going to say he's low. Don't worry about it. It's I got to get the music off of Zoom. It doesn't matter. See you in 3 minutes.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog.
Hi, Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the Dumb Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. We've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Yeah, if you don't mind, you guys can go over to facebook.com/thedumbshowmatt, and you can officially, what's going on down there, big guy?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. We can officially stay in touch. You can send me messages, nudes, all that type of stuff. You know, the things that are most important. Hope everyone's doing well. Leroy's back in the house. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you very much. It is good to be home. My and the wife, we took a week-long vacation. We hit up all some amazing ports. Costa Maya, we hit up Belize, we hit up Honduras, and it was just awesome, which is why I came back and I've got this awesome tan. And that's when I let my true Egyptian black heritage come out. So
yeah, I just had to actually increase the cool saturation on your photo. You're so tan. You looked black. You looked black. I didn't want to turn people off from watching the show.
Right. I could be easily mistaken for another race. Easily.
And having us separate, it looks like segregation. I figured they would claim racism, so I just had to change your color.
Right.
But seriously, from the waist down, you can hardly tell that you're white. It's amazing.
Right.
We're getting started early, folks. Yes, from the waist down. So the Dumb Show Matt is on Facebook. Go over there. I get about 20 or 30 people who send me friend requests, which is nice a night. So I want to try to get as many over there as we can. We got the blue check mark over there, and it definitely helps. Hope everyone's doing well. Does it look like some of that wood is darker above the gun frame than it was when we installed it?
I don't think so.
Sure. Look at the US and look at the horseshoe, and there's two boards, and those boards are almost black.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the? They weren't like
That's
that.
That's my skin tone.
They weren't like it when I put them in there. Oh, that's crazy. Kind of like a C. Thomas Howell Soul Man type thing. I wonder if they've been taking tanning pills. What a great movie that was. That was a fantastic movie. Did you see it?
No.
You got to watch it. It's got James Earl Jones in the end, and it's C. Thomas Howell, and he basically goes to call. His dad cuts him off, and he's a handsome white guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm cutting you off." What's the name of it? Soul Man. It's like our mom and I are going to go to Europe.
You know what? That's from like the late 1980s, yeah?
Yeah, but you keep interrupting when I'm trying to tell people what it is. So, but you already had your chance to say you know it, so now you don't have to interrupt me. I mean, has it really been that long since you've been on the show? I mean, God, fucking.
You just asked for the year.
You go to Cancun, and all of a sudden, man, you just get all, I'm freaking elitist, and I'm going to interrupt Matt whenever he talks.
Okay.
So where did you go? You went Cancun?
No, we went to a couple of places in Mexico, and
did you drink the water? The names. You drink the water?
Did not.
You go to Puerto Vallarta?
I did not. Me and the wife, we mostly spent our time either tanning, eating way too much, drank very little, sleeping, or fucking. And it was
jeez.
And it was really good.
It's outstanding. That's good news.
It was a good week.
So everyone's like, move Leeroy closer. Dude, we got to get this new camera. I mean, it's now to the point where we've got this so dialed in, and if we don't do it, we're doing a disservice. So will you please kick your child out of the house so we can get your camera set up? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good talk. So anyway, well, I'm glad you had a good time. You deserved it. I'm a little weird that a sailor decides to go ahead and take a cruise. It's kind of like...
Well, there's no better cruise than when everyone is like basically attending to every need. They feed you, they change your rack, you didn't have to do anything. It was amazing.
Well, that's what seamen seamen E1s and E2s are for.
Right.
So let me ask a question here. So, because I've been thinking, because we just have this plethora of extra money all over the place. So I figured I would just cash out one of my Lear jets,
Right.
How, like, to me, being on a boat with 5,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
is it crowded?
Well, I guess that would depend on the size of the boat. Now, are you talking like an aircraft carrier?
No, dude, I'm not. I'm talking about a cruise.
You're talking the cruise ship.
Yeah, I'm talking about what you
So
just got back from. Was it
Yeah.
crowded?
No, it was that we didn't wait in line for anything.
What?
Um,
Were there a lot of
most
people
of
on
the
there?
bigger ships.
You got to let me ask
What?
questions. Were there a lot of people on there?
No.
Was it full occupied or was it like 75%? What? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Now tell me.
It was a Royal Caribbean cruise, and we took one of the oldest classes of ships, which also happens to be one of the smallest. Now, what happens is when people haul their kids on vacation, they're taking them to the places with slides, and they're taking them to the waterfalls and rock climbing walls. And we saw one cruise ship that had a literal roller coaster on the very top deck. This ship didn't have any of that, so it attracted no families with kids.
No fanfare.
There were
right?
still
Yeah.
people there, but it was the majority of the crowd was maybe a little bit older. And so it was very peaceful. You didn't have to wait in line for any of the food. We didn't have to wait in line for to get a deck chair. Nothing like that. It was
Okay.
quiet.
So were you sailing north or south so you could always get out in the sun? Because wouldn't the sails block your suntan a little bit? Not
right.
that old.
Well,
Not,
actually,
not
I tried to stay
USS
out of the sun,
Constitution
but yeah.
old. Not USS Constitution old.
Oddly enough, the ship was built in 1996, which is the same year that I got married.
It's the same
So
year that I
it was
went in the Navy. Well, 95, but that's interesting that we both kind of went in. 96 is a very important year for my life. Okay, so you went in there. How's the food?
It was really good. So there was 3 or 4 dining rooms. One of them was paid for. It was like a chop house, high-end steak place. Then there was their official dining room, which was called the Great Gatsby, and that had really good food. But that was more so if you wanted to get all dressed up and wear something with a collar and wear slacks. Then they had another room which was more like an Applebee's, and they served all the same food that they did at the Gatsby restaurant, but it was far more casual and it was buffet style. So if they had an Italian night that was being done in the Gatsby, where they served spaghetti bolognese, right? Same thing was served over in the Windjammer. So it was far more casual. That's what we ate, where we ate.
So Great Expectations obviously was closed.
Right.
And that's just setting yourself up for failure, right? Because the expectations are already so high before you even walk in. It's got to be. What about the Grapes of Wrath? Was that there, or To Kill a Mockingbird, or was it just the Gatsby? The Great Gatsby.
That's just the name of the restaurant.
But we're trying to make literary puns here. We're off pace. Maybe we should just quit, come back in, restart, and get back to normal. Can you get back to how much mezcal did you drink?
Oh my God, I brought back funny story for anyone who's interested.
Okay, we had 5 minutes. Remember, we had 5.
We went out into town, and this dude tries to grab me and pull me into his shop, and he's like, "Hey, you got to buy my cigars." This is in Mexico, so I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I love cigars. Let's talk about it, right? How many cigars? How many Cubans can I bring back?" And he's like, "So each passenger is allowed to bring back up to 50 Cubans." Okay, cool.
What? When did that change?
That's what I said.
When did that change?
Well, as it turns out, it didn't. So I buy these things.
I knew it.
Bring them back to the ship, and then I asked the crew, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to have those. When you go, you're going to have to either turn those in or destroy them." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not destroying them. I just spent like quite a bit of money on these things." So the night before, while we were packing, I took them all out of the box.
Oh, God.
They were still in their individual labels, and I pulled the wrapper off of each one that showed Habana or, Romeo and Juliet. I pulled all of those bands off.
What about the band? You pulled the bands and the wrapper off.
I just pulled the bands off, right? Then I saved the bands and marked each container which had what. That way I could put them back on later, just in case I got stopped at customs, which we didn't.
Customs would have known. I mean, you can tell the difference
Well,
between a Cuban cigar, but luckily,
You can, but if there's no label, then they're not going to. I would just say, I
right?
got those
That's
in
like
Honduras.
I guess we
Right.
could smuggle a kilo of cocaine as long as we take the fucking label off. I mean, come on, dude. Customs would have nailed you, but they didn't.
Baby
So,
powder.
but by the way, for the customs agents who are listening, I have his address, and
it's okay.
it was a good time. It was fun. Well, I'm glad you had fun. Well, I've been thinking about it, and like the kids want to go do it, and they want to go get the sun and all that shit, and
It's worth it.
I don't want to go on, like, they were like, let's go on a Disney cruise. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I can handle people that, like, that guy that jumped off a few months ago. I would be him. We have some footage of Leeroy's excursion, and this is an angle a lot of you haven't seen. So you're going to appreciate this. So let's go ahead and get into it and take a look.
Wait.
Welcome back, bro. Welcome back. You're a little off. Hopefully you warm up here soon because you're dragging the show down just a little bit. But we'll get you there. We'll get you.
What the hell?
We'll get you there. Here's the
Yes.
Oh shit. Here.
Dude, this is amazing.
This is, and here's the angle a lot of people haven't seen. So I'm going to show you this, and I've got a couple of other angles. I don't like to do mass produce shit. So let's go ahead and just watch this and see Leeroy on his pleasure cruise.
Yeah. Good times right there.
Yep. So
Wait.
So
What the hell's about to happen?
So if you take a look on the side of this, on this beautiful starboard, right? Starboard side.
That'd be the starboard side. Yeah.
Yeah, starboard side. They are emitting some form of.
Oh, you mean the water? That's
Yeah.
on the port.
Port side. That's right. So it's dyslexia, dude. You should have seen me when I was starboard watch leader in boot. It was so bad. And I still fuck with that. Like right and left, I got no problem. I figured that out. That was about 30 years old. I figured out that. But now starboard and port, I always mix. I mean, go figure a sailor who messes up starboard and port. It was horrible whenever I was on the con. It doesn't matter. Okay, so port side. They are there's some white emitting sea foam coming out. Well,
Right.
that is essentially a hose / fire suppression device that is used to expel raiders, or if there is a fire on another vessel, or if there's some sort of chemical spill, they can put AFFF in the water and kill all the fish for a square mile. So that's what that is. And do you want to tell them what that is right there?
So that ship that, first of all, this is being filmed from a Taiwanese vessel. And that right there is a Chinese Coast Guard vessel that is trying to run down and chase out of the area this. I'm sorry, it's Philippines. It's a Philippines vessel.
It is. It's a
That's
Filipino.
who's filming
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Right. And so as this Chinese vessel with the hose on full blast is trying to chase down this Filipino vessel, right? That's when things get really interesting.
So what you need to understand is the Philippines and Chinese have no love lost for each other, but either to the Japanese and either to the Taiwanese. Philippines are kind of like disrespected by everybody, and World War II left a real shitty taste in their mouth. We can drop a nuke on them, but they don't like the Filipinos actually running guerrilla warfare against them. Go figure. And they kind of held a grudge. But the Chinese don't like the Filipinos either. This happens often. And whenever you are exploring or moving into the South China Sea area, if you get anywhere close to their waters, even if you're in international waters, if you get within 2 or 3 miles of their line, you're going to meet a Chinese vessel of some sort, whether it be Coast Guard or other. And I can tell you, we have been intercepted by several Chinese vessels when we were over doing operations on the west side of Japan. However, this is a little aggressive. I mean, it just lets you know he's
Aggressive.
he's cooking. He's cooking. And that little Coast Guard ship is certainly not at full tilt, but what's really funny is that the hydraulic pressure is based upon the engines in these things. So it's if you can take a look at the way that this thing is cooking and moving, it's doing its job. It's like a little cutter, and
exactly.
It moves. When it's called a cutter because that's what it's designed to do. It's literally to kind of float above the waves and go through the waves. It's extremely powerful, fast moving vessel,
Yes.
lightweight compared to others. So it's going to track this thing down. fairly easily until it's the
Yeah.
greatest video ever, dude.
It really is.
I would have been water skiing. This would have been, I
So,
was a Filipino.
What you can't tell from that video before you hit play is that on the forecastle of that vessel, on the very forward end, right? There are three people, three dudes
Yeah.
who are up there, and you realize they're all the way forward. So God knows what happened to them.
Oh,
But
they're not
go ahead.
they're not in a good spot. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and watch this. You might get a glimpse of them back over here. Now, so from here, he's going to move to port side, right?
Mhm.
And he's just
Correct.
he's basically cutting him. And he's going to be doing this to try to spray and intercept their turns. And he's basically just playing chicken. Now he's
So
going to
there's
go
the
ahead.
three dudes.
Now he's going to come back to starboard. And he's
Now we're
essentially, see, look at, they're jumping. Oh, wait a second. I didn't see that before. Okay. This, if you take a look what happens right here. Oh, thank you, Bobby. I bet. Yep. Bobby
you,
Richardson.
Bobby.
Just for love. So if you take a look here, one of the guys that are forward tries to drop an impact buoy, which is used for docking. And whenever you are going up against and trying to put in for other ships or going into a raised port or dock, you're going to put in a docking buoy. So it absorbs the impact of the side of the dock. And
It's supposed to
Homeboy,
protect the side of the ship, right?
right. So Homeboy puts this out. Brother, your little aluminum rolled cutter is not going to go up against reinforced American steel. I'm just letting you know the displacement. This would be like, honestly, a Pinto hitting a fucking train.
Right.
And that's what happens. Leeroy, I'm going to let you take the rest of this. Enjoy this because here comes America.
Well, no, this is another Chinese vessel.
Oh no, I thought this was a U.S. vessel that got. No.
Oh, this is two Chinese vessels.
Oh, holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because when the initial report, and I haven't seen this, was that it was a U.S. vessel that got it. Oh, thanks for telling me. Oh, this is even going to be worse. Oh, holy shit. Watch this.
It's so good.
Like, I thought a U.S. vessel was basically maintaining their line and saying, we're not coming off fucking line. We got right away here and didn't move. Right. That's what I thought happened. Oh my God. Great, dudes. All right. You finish the rest of the story then. Here it is.
So as these two vessels were coming together, this Chinese vessel was trying to cut in between them, I guess. And so you can see if you pause it real quick, that's a Chinese destroyer. That's hull number 164. And you can see the Dragon Eye radar on the yeah. So that's a Chinese frigate. And that cutter made direct impact to the port side of that destroyer. And no one had seen these three dudes again. And so the next time we get a clear image of what's going on with that cutter, the nose is completely mashed in. God knows what happened. Like I said, what happened to those guys? I'm thinking they're gone, like probably gone.
Oh my
right?
God. Thank God
They
for
probably, yeah, they probably got smeared, which is not good. It's going to be a terrible way to go. And you can see that there's heavy hull damage to the port side of that ship with 164 on the side. Yeah, that's a Chinese destroyer.
It is a Chinese destroyer. So that thing's about 7,500 tons.
Yeah.
If it's a Chinese destroyer. So based upon probably 500 feet at least.
Yeah, I would say at least that.
So it's 500 feet. I mean, and it displaces a shit ton. It's obviously a diesel. It's probably combined
gas
diesel.
turbine
Diesel and diesel gas combined. So this thing as a destroyer, it's going to do anti-submarine warfare, air defense, submarine warfare, anti-ship warfare. That's its job.
Right. So this is just one of those cases where two Chinese vessels were trying to play as a team and harass a much smaller vessel out of the area, because China loves to claim that everything is their territorial waters. And as they were chasing them down, somehow, one dude meant to go left, the other guy meant to go right. Don't necessarily know. but that giant Chinese,
Oh, holy
um,
shit.
yeah,
Look at that
just
rigging.
comes in.
So
Yeah.
this interesting. This profile of this ship is actually considered to be semi-stealthy, the way it's built. And if
Yeah.
you take a look, it's more modern. This is like the 052D, I think. If it is, it has to be because it's stealthy. And the reason why is the profile. The forward part of the ship comes up high out of the water, which leaves
A little bit of an angle.
yeah, at an angle. And then if you take a look at the forecastle, it's more of like a hexagon, not a hexagon, it'd be an octagon style front, and then it slopes up. So all of this is semi-stealthy. Not anymore. That doesn't help. Nope, that giant hole in there doesn't help.
Some poor bosun mate out there right now, like just hating his life as they try and pound the hole back into shape.
But look at that hole. So steel, usually really good steel, will dent and crack in certain spots. This shows you Chinese steel is shit because it punctured a hole. Literally everything broke. The steel just broke. It's not bent. It's broke. Look at the piece. Look at the clean lines.
So just to be clear, that giant black piece that's in front of that bar, I think that's where the anchor comes up. But to your point, along the very top ridge, if you look underneath where the gun is, there's 2 holes now. And we're pretty sure that where that cutter made impact, those 2 holes that are in the hull, along with all those scrapes underneath the 164, that is all damage from the impact.
But it's got a forward anchor right here.
Yeah.
So
that might be for a separate line.
It could be.
That might just be for a mooring line.
Yeah, it might be a mooring line. Yeah, because okay. So I mean, I understand that that's the anchor hole, but my point is just look at the clean puncture here.
Yeah.
And then you got a little bit of tear up there. I mean, it just literally went right through that. Now this little cutter here is 1/3 the size of this. I mean, it's not. It's a 125, 150 foot vessel, and it's only pushing like I don't even know. Probably what 25 to 3,000 pounds. I mean, if that.
Yeah.
It's a very light vessel.
Just full speed right into the side of a warship, basically.
Oh yeah, sorry, not pounds, tons. Sorry. So probably 2,000 to 1,500 tons is what that would be for as far as full displacement. So like I said, it's not a Pinto going into a train, but it's certainly a Pinto going into a semi. And to be honest with you, if that was an Arleigh Burke and it was American made, I think that cutter would be abandoned ships. I mean, that thing is fucking sunk.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just the way we build our ships, plus the speed. That's not going to have any problem catching that little Filipino. What is that? Is that just 2 outboards on that thing? It's diesel, so
I couldn't tell when I was taking a look at the video in the place where I work. I was watching it over and over again. And the only thing I could come up with was maybe it was some sort of like a smaller cutter.
I don't know. Yeah, because it looks fairly small. Look at the backside. Look at the exhaust. I mean, that cutter is also. Look at his wake.
Tiny.
Look at his wake. That's like.
Yeah.
It's just like a little. It's not a pontoon. It's not a skiff. It doesn't. It's just like a little outboard vessel. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. It's so.
Well, it got away.
Well, it got away for a reason. It wasn't. I think they're chasing it out, but here's the problem. People are asking, who's at fault? Is it the Coast Guard or is it the Chinese destroyer? So is it the Chinese Navy or is it the Coast Guard? What do you, first of all, before we answer, what do you guys think? No, look, see, that's not anchor, bud.
Oh.
That was okay. So see how he only has a port side anchor and he doesn't have a starboard. What the fuck? Help me understand. Why does he have a single anchor?
It's not that big of a vessel. That's probably 450, 500 feet long.
500 is what I was thinking.
I don't think that is. Maybe that is damage. I don't know.
I'd have to pull up here. It looks pretty bad, dude. I mean, like I'm saying, it literally looks like. Look at that. It is the 5. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking it is. The 052D is what I'm thinking. Let me know. Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, get this. It's on the starboard side. That's not anchor. It's the starboard side of the bow, just forward of the hole's flare. So that's where it's at. It's that spot that I told you. So it's a forward anchor. It's near the hawse pipe. Hull plating sits flush for reduced radar signature. Anchor chain leads back through the hawse pipe to the anchor windlass machinery on the foredeck. On the 052, hold on, 052.
What's the whole number on that one?
Type 05, it's 164. It's the 052D. It's the Gullion. And the main anchor is located at the starboard right side of the bow, just forward of the hull's flare.
Here is, yeah, I'm looking at hull numbers 119 and 132, and they have that same design on the port side of forward on their hull. So that's got to be some sort of anchor storage.
Sure,
something.
but should be fairly reinforced.
Yeah, it should be.
That's the fucking weak spot of the ship. I mean, besides the water line, that's the probably most reinforced spot on the ship, is what you would assume. And the forecastle, obviously, for other type of impacts. But as a forward impact, I mean, that's where you're going to take most of your shit. Running into land or running into another vessel or running over a mine, you're probably going to hit it back there or up there. It's interesting. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it says about the 52D. But either way, sorry, everyone's like, play it. I'm sorry, folks. We're researching here. What do you want from us? So I want to watch this one more time. I just want to see this thing get cleaned out.
It was so good. It's like watching the fat chick at the wedding who falls down on her friend.
I love this guy, dude, literally trying to put the impact buoy out. It's, dude, like that, like it's kind of, dude, haven't you seen Jaws? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. See, when I first read this headline, the message traffic was that it was an American vessel. And obviously it's not. It's Chinese completely. I agree with you. But all I saw was the front side of the hull. I didn't see the number. I didn't see any marking. So I was going to wait for you for this. So I just saved the video and I didn't really check it out. That's credible. Or incredible.
And those poor dudes that are up there, I have to imagine they're gone.
Well, yeah, because you guys got to consider this. You're moving at 25 plus knots. He's full throttle. I mean, he's open. And those things can get up, 25, 30 knots plus. So he's full throttle. And then that destroyer certainly isn't running full tilt, but it doesn't matter. It's the sheer weight of it. And it would be like getting in a Honda without airbags and going into a wall, at almost 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
With all that.
And there's some high res photos out there.
I've got
the damage to the cutter.
Yeah. I got them. I'll bring those up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. Just look, look at this destroyer. It lifts this destroyer up out of the water. Look at this.
Yeah.
That destroyer goes whoop and comes up.
To the face. Yeah.
That is so not good. And, oh, look at this guy out here with a cannon. He turns the cannon off. Watch this. This guy, man, there's a guy manning the cannon too. Look at him. See him?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it? So, yeah, there's a guy manning the cannon and probably turned it off or trying to do something or holding on. See, it's still on. See, there goes the cannon. Cannon's starting to go off.
Yeah.
Does it actually turn off? No. So they still have hydraulic, but they have lost. I mean, they're taking on water. Well, probably
that is not good.
Not forward. Not that. I mean, that's comparted. I don't think there's any access to that, right? Well, you're just, you would assume that that's going to be reinforced and sealed off and at least watertight from the bilge, because if it does take an impact, there's no reason, unless there's something wrong with the anchor or they're doing some sort of, dry dock rehab.
Those Filipino dudes are looking at each other going,
we just took out two fucking ships. No, they're just like, dude, we just took out two. Dude, we are the mighty Filipino Navy.
Right.
We're unbeatable. Oh, God.
Mush. Dude, that looks like Rocky's nose. Yeah. Just.
Those guys are dead. 3 of them are dead.
Yeah, there's no way.
They're like, I would have loved to see 3 red blots where those guys literally just ink stamped.
Just smeared. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. This guy's on.
He's like,
Yeah.
smile.
Yep. So I'm trying to see. There's a couple other images. Here's a good high def image. That's not high def.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Look at that. That just collapsed.
You know what? That looks like it pierced the hull underneath the one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And also, yeah. So they took on water too. Oh, that's awesome.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not putting that on. I'm not getting copyright. All right, here's the one that everyone else has seen. We'll watch this one. This guy's got a phone. Look at this. Just, oh my God. Oh, that's embarrassing. It literally just indented it. Look at that.
Yeah.
It just pushed. It looks like a styrofoam cup. Look
Yeah.
at that. It flattened it.
It almost doesn't look real.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Mel. It's storage. That's where on our LCC, all of it was forward. All of our paint, our thinner, and all that shit was all. It's like paint locker, but there's a bilge lockdown. It's always in lockdown, and it's always
keep
sealed.
All the lines. Yeah, lines, chain, any of the damage control equipment's usually kept
right.
Oddly enough, it's kept in there.
Yeah, axes and jackets and hats. So, this will help. Oh, yeah, I already know all this. This is nice because this gives you all the systems that are on here. And I think that's about it. I've seen a couple of other images, but I'm not going to release those. Not good day. Dude, that's embarrassing. Like, every one of those guys on those vessels are dead. They're all dead. Oh, we got. Here's a good view. The sound. Dude, they're all dead. They're fucking they first thing they did is killed grandma and their wives. Like, they just showed up. Is my husband okay? Well,
what was his name? We smoosh you.
Yeah, no shit. We pancake you. That's great. I mean, dude, listen, who needs the U.S. Navy when the Chinese will do it themselves? I mean, listen, the U.S. Navy has done some stupid shit lately. I'm not going to lie. It's not like we haven't made mistakes, but it makes me feel
this level of aggression, right? Which is something the Chinese have been doing for several years now. Which is they don't mind running their ships into various obstacles if they feel like they can chase somebody out of what they perceive as their territory, right? But this level of aggression has now come back to bite them in the ass. And now, unfortunately, it looks like it's cost at least a couple of sailors their lives, not to mention, several $1 million worth of repairs, certainly some level of public embarrassment. Yeah.
That's insane. Well, now we know. Folks, if you have not heard, we're working on having the first ever Dumb Fest, which will be a concert with Still Point. We're working on Blackbird Anthem. They're going to be here, by the way. We've got this week. We've got Ryan Samuels coming in on Sunday for a special show. So he's going to be in studio, which is great. So Ryan Samuels is coming up. That'll be awesome. And then Blackbird Anthem has just booked. They'll be here. Lisa Regina the following week. And then Alan Donovan from Fathers Lives Matter. We had him on a couple years back and was recently diagnosed with cancer. And he's going to come on and talk about his journey and he's a good dude. So that's going to be happening. But we're talking about the Dumb Fest, which is having Still Point, Blackbird Anthem up here in Virginia for a concert. and bringing the dumb nation together. And had a conversation with Chuck Peterson today. We're working on a PA system, and if everything else works out, Chuck was actually offering how he could help make sure this took place, and had offered about getting a house for everybody to stay at, like a bed and breakfast house, and renting out the entire house for the dumb nation. So we're putting all the plans together and all the details together, and we'll keep you guys informed. There's been a lot of interest. So, we have probably, I think, 15 people who are interested in coming now with spouses and significant others. We want to get that up to about 25. And if we do, we're going to green light this thing. So if you are interested in doing this, coming to Virginia, it's going to be in October 25th, I believe is what we're saying. Beautiful weather in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains, in the middle of a cornfield is the venue. It's a full distillery, whiskey distillery. And it is an amazing time. So we'll have food trucks there. There'll be RV parking. So if you want to go in there and stay the night over there, it doesn't have electrical, doesn't have a dump station, but you can park your RV there and stay the night if you want to. So if you're interested, Olivia at the Dumb Show, I'm going to build a site. And we'll go from there. Okay, so the people are asking who is in the right, who is in the wrong. The Coast Guard was absolutely in the wrong. That destroyer's on a line, and military takes precedent over Coast Guard. Larger vessel always takes precedent because it has a harder time maneuvering. Smaller vessel, according to maritime law, should yield. And that's pretty much it. Do you see it differently?
No, but here's the thing. Ultimately, it's the same party that is at fault, which is to say China, because that's both a Chinese Coast Guard vessel and a Chinese destroyer. It's just that the Coast Guard vessel should have yielded. When you are encountering a larger vessel than you, by maritime law, you're supposed to be the one to give way. So, to Matt's point, it was the Coast Guard's fault.
Yeah,
but
Coast Guard.
Still China.
Yeah, but either way, really, America wins. So they'll be in dry dock for 6 to 8 months. So good luck. If that Coast Guard, it depends. If the beam line is bent, they're fucking done. So
yeah,
it's just like a vehicle. If the frame gets bent, you're pretty much toast. Same thing with a ship. If the beam line is all fucked, that it might just be a salvage. Now the destroyer is going to be fine. There's no integrity damage there, except for the side. But that Coast Guard ship it's going to be in some pretty bad shape. So it's going to be in dry dock for a while. Good, So anyway, that's that. Benjamin Netanyahu.
BB.
Iran is going through some water shortages because they're in a high desert. That's what happens in a high desert. Yeah. Just like Afghanistan and Nevada. Right. So high deserts don't do very well in water, and they are openly admitting that their reservoirs are running dry. So Benjamin Netanyahu, listen, you can say what you want about Bibi Netanyahu. Call him a dictator, call him a, mass murderer, call him the Hitler of today's generation, whatever stupid shit you want to say. But the guy has got the Jews are very good at trolling. I mean, they are exceptional at it, and this is no exception. Watch this. This is pretty great.
Oh.
Today I'm going to make an unprecedented offer to Iran. It relates to water. The Iranian people are victims of a cruel and tyrannical regime that denies them vital water. Israel stands with the people of Iran, and that is why I want to help save countless Iranian lives. Here's how. Iran's meteorological organization says that nearly 96% of Iran suffers from some levels of drought. Issa Kalantari, a former Iranian agriculture minister, said that 50 million Iranians could be forced out of their homes due to environmental damage. 50 million. Millions of Iranian children are suffering due to mismanagement, to incompetence, and the theft of vital resources by the Iranian regime. Now, Israel also has water challenges. We've developed cutting-edge technologies to address them. Israel recycles nearly 90% of its wastewater. That's far more than any other country on earth. We invented drip irrigation. Our technology targets individual plants with exactly the nutrients they need for each plant. Israel has the know-how to prevent environmental catastrophe in Iran. I want to share this information with the people of Iran. Sadly, Iran bans Israelis from visiting, so we'll have to get creative. We will launch a Farsi website with detailed plans on how Iranians can recycle their wastewater. We will show how Iranian farmers can save their crops and feed their families. The Iranian regime shouts death to Israel. In response, Israel shouts life to the Iranian people. The people of Iran are good and decent. They shouldn't have to face such a cruel regime alone. We are with you. We will help so that millions of Iranians don't have to suffer. The hatred of Iran's regime will not stop the respect and the friendship between our two peoples.
Wow.
So let me just explain something. That was in English for a reason.
You think it was for show?
It's a message to the United States. Israel's good people. We understand we're completely just destroying and flattening Gaza right now. But look at this. We're even trying to work with Iran. There's a reason why it's in English. And yes, I understand. But, you know, it's a very purposeful strategy. It sends a message to the United States. It sends a message to the Iranians. It doesn't matter whether he's going through, you know, he doesn't speak Farsi. I know that much, but he at least can communicate that where it translates to the United States. And then obviously Iran is going to have to translate it back. Do I think it's sincere? Of course I think it's sincere, but I also think it's a great master play to have a glass of beautiful, clean water in a beautiful crystal pitcher right in front of you and taking a drink right before you start talking. It is a fuck you at the same time. It's better than pagers. You know what I mean?
But I took that as almost like a fuck you towards the government, not necessarily the people.
Well, yeah,
and
he
I
didn't
also
send pagers to people.
And I also I see that whole thing as maybe a move to help entice or push Iran into forceful regime change.
Yeah.
If they can say, oh my God, if the people of Iran can say, oh my God, look at this message. The Jews are fighting, they understand our plight, and the only thing standing in our way between us, food and water and peace is the Iranian regime, then this might be Bibi Netanyahu's way of trying to instigate that from within Iran. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
What do I know?
listen, no, you're right. It's not that Trump didn't do that too. I mean, we dropped in iPhones by air. We dropped in pamphlets, very much like Cuba. Trump in his first administration did whatever he could to spark revolution inside Iran. And there's enough people. I mean, the Iranian people, everyone wonders why the human intelligence is so good for the Jews. It's because the Iranian people hate the regime and they turn against them. And there's a lot of Jews in Iran. Let's not kid ourselves. So I think it's a good level troll. I think it's solid. I think it was meant for multiple people. And they did create a website and you can go to. It's tinyurl.com, Fanavri AB. FANAVRIAB, and you can go and learn how to turn your wastewater. Now, the U.S. government will fine you and probably arrest you if you go ahead and turn rainwater or wastewater into good drinking water, because surprisingly enough, we have some very stringent regulations in the United States on collecting water. They're not big fans of it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how everyone reacts to that. Sorry about that, folks. Reading some news. Show goal $61.99 is where we're at. John Stillwell, thank you for your donation. I didn't see it, or I did say it, and I don't remember I said it. So thank you so much, folks. We're gonna have to implement a new rule. Olivia and I did the math, and last month we averaged. This is gonna blow you away. We averaged 2 hours and 56 minutes a show. That's a lot. So
that is a lot.
You guys got to understand. And the reason why, and this is the way we feel, is we always hit goal. Always. We've hit goal every single night. We've missed it like 2 times in almost 2 years. is we feel that people are holding the goals, so we stay longer. And at this point, we got to have that stop. And if you don't want to donate, then that's fine. But listen, I'm up at 6 a.m. and I'm working, and I'm not getting out of here until by the time I shut everything down, get the recording trimmed, get the podcast done, shut the lights down, clean the podcast room and everything. It's 11:30. It's just, it's too much. It's just, our show is slated for $150 for an hour on. And the reason why is we know the cost to run the show. So we've kept our price where it's at. This is what we feel is good for us to continue to do the show, where we don't need any type of influence or extra advertising and stuff. So we would appreciate it if you guys, if you're going to donate, let's not hold on to it. It's making it hard on Olivia and I, to the point where we're getting burned out. And we don't take vacations. We're on 5 nights a week. We don't miss. We feel we provide a great product. And if you guys could help us out by, let's hit it by 9 o'clock. So when we do stay, it's by choice, not out of necessity, if that's okay with everybody. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen to what I said. Anyway. Make it a choice. But we feel that people are holding it to stay. And guys, we're not trained monkeys here. We have 2 hours worth of content. Sometimes it's important to stay on later, and we love it. And Leeroy and I always do. Leeroy and I are pretty much always on 2.5 hours, but it makes it hard. So especially like right now, we know tonight's going to be real slow. So it's going to be hard. So, we've got to pitch in, help out if we don't mind. And don't be like, oh, well, wait a second, I'm watching now, I got to pay. No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying we know it's going to happen because we always hit it. So let's just hit the damn thing and not have 3 hours go by. Make sense? Cool.
Can I do a quick shout out real quick?
Sure.
So yesterday when I got home, there was a card in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Matt got one that is just like it, right? And I'm going to read this real quick because it should only take a second. It says, "T. Leeroy, I appreciate all you do. Thank you for your service and all you do to contribute to the Dumb Show. Cheers, Mel Lowe." And then she also enclosed this amazing coin that has a fouled anchor on it, which is perfect for me. And it comes with the logo, Parade Vero Parade, which is Ready, I Ready. So thank you, Mel, so much. This is beautiful, and I'm going to take a picture and show you where this is going to live for the rest of its life in my cabinet.
Yeah, we've got, let me see if we can, nope, you can't see it from there. You are like, literally, it got top spot center on the board with the other coins. So you are very much appreciated, and we thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Mel.
You're the best. Video, CNN. Oh, God, it was like pulling teeth. They had to go through and openly admit some things that they didn't want to admit about Donald Trump. Here it is. Why don't we watch that? This is pretty funny.
When you look at the key categories that we always look at, energy, food, and shelter, energy fell by 1.1%. That was largely driven because of gas prices falling in the month of July by 2.2%. Look at that food. I mean, this is where people spend their money, right? Food every single day. Food flat, 0%, and actually down at the grocery store by 0.1%. And then
Loretta, I don't know if it went through or not, sister. I didn't see your name, so I don't know. I don't know, Loretta. I'm not sure. I'll have Olivia check. Thank you. Yes, Mel is awesome. Hey, everybody. Ryan Samuels is on. He's probably going to go live here shortly. We're going to try to coordinate our schedules, so he's going to be out here, and we're going to have a conversation.
We always usually see an increase because that is what people are paying on rent, and we know that rents are rising. When you look at the
it's almost categories, almost like the narrative. I don't know if you guys saw the Dow today or the NASDAQ. It's like at 44.6. Dow is like 22,000 or something, just for ridiculous.
I was going to say, I think the S&P also hit an all-time high last week, right?
Yeah, you guys, this is insanity. So, you just don't even listen to these people. And Here is
reduce rates.
God, Jerome Powell. This guy is such a he just literally makes me. He's evil or Orville Redenbacher. So just look at the number. Listen to what he's saying. And try to balance that based upon what we're seeing. Because these tariffs that were supposed to happen, the sky is falling, the whole world's going to end. This is him back in, I think, June. Listen to this.
And what we're waiting for to reduce rates is to understand what will happen with really the tariff inflation. And there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Every forecaster you can name who is a professional forecaster with adequate resources and forecasts for a living is forecasting a pretty significant. Everyone that I know is forecasting a meaningful increase in inflation in coming months from tariffs, because someone has to pay for the tariffs, and it will be someone in that chain that I mentioned between the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, ultimately somebody putting it into a good of some kind, or just the consumer buying it. And all through that chain, people will be trying not to be the ones who pick up the cost. But ultimately, the cost of the tariff has to be paid. And some of it will fall on the end consumer. We know that because that's what businesses say. That's what the data say from past. So we know that's coming. And we just want to see a little bit of that before we make judgments prematurely.
And follow up on that. So you spent years though talking about how your data.
Olivia. So what inflation? Leeroy, tell us a little bit about tariff inflation, considering that inflation remains stagnant at like 0.1, I believe 0.2 is where it was.
Right.
Where it was. I mean, we're sorry, we're not at the 11% Joe Biden number, God forbid. What the hell's his problem? Why won't he lower interest rates? America needs it. Housing is limited. People aren't wanting to buy right now. They were waiting for a drop that's not taking place. And the guy's literally killing the resi market. Why don't you tell us what your thoughts are?
Well, first of all, we have to understand what the differences are between real inflation, which is this general price increase that goes across all categories, and the localized inflation that all of the CNN economists were trying to say was going to be the result from the increase in tariffs. Now, for the last Trump has been in office now for about 205 days. And for the last 205 days, roughly, right up until the first time, this is the first positive message that I've ever seen come out of CNN, right? But for the last 200 days, we've all been told the same message over and over again, that tariffs would cause runaway inflation, that we were headed towards a recession, that Trump's economy would be absolutely damning to the U.S. economy, and that Americans were on the verge of losing their jobs. Looking at these numbers, you have to realize at some point, if you're a loyal CNN watcher, you have to realize, wait a minute, what am I watching now? Like, you just got done telling me the sky was falling for the last 200 days, and now you're reporting the real numbers, and they're actually pretty good. So at some point, you really have to become hypercritical of left-wing media, which is plainly lying to you.
Yeah. It's a little cringe. A little tired of it, to be honest with you. I really wish they would find a way. Turn that brightness down of that.
Yes.
I really wish they would find a way to shift into what they're going to do for their constituents and what they're going to do for the people in their party for 2026 and 2028. But in the end, they ran on it in 16, they ran on it in 20, and they ran it on 2024, and they're going to run it on 26, 28, and 22, which is get Trump. Amy Bordeaux, $10.80. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Amy.
We need it tonight. Tonight's slow. Lots of people on. Folks, remember, we've got 225, 230 people on. Can we hit the like button at least? If we can't donate, can we at least hit like and share? It's getting awful tough, folks. We've got to get the word out. And the only way we do that is by sharing and liking the show. That is how we get that done. Without that, we can't do anything. Joanne Lutman.
Thank you, Joanne.
Little closer,
says,
$10.
Little closer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So before we take commercial, Eric Erickson. You know, I like Eric.
I think Donald Trump
Do you
knows
like,
how to
do
play
you like
the
Eric?
Democrats. Just look at what happened with illegal
Hold on.
immigration. Overwhelmingly, voters, it's a top.
So I don't call. Maybe I'm bitter because our good friend, our good friend Megyn Kelly, got 150 million views by herself, and CNN got 135 million on their YouTube channel. Great job for Megyn Kelly, and I think it's awesome. But I also am a little frustrated at YouTube and Facebook and Twitter can you guys maybe get an up and comer section or some fucking shit so some other podcasts can actually fucking crack the ceiling?
Right.
Do you think, or do you want to consistently give 3.5 billion impressions to 5 people? Because I did the math.
Love.
I did the fucking math. 5 conservative channels have 3.5 billion impressions among them. And I'm sorry, but I can't spend $10,000 a day in advertising. That's what it's going to cost me. It cost me $10,000 a day. Nick Fuentes buys his traffic. Krasenstein buys their traffic. Everybody buys their traffic. And what they do is that they put up a post, they have a schedule, and they get the bots to jump on, and the bots hit it with 400 or 500 likes within a quarter of a second. And it goes viral. And this is how people do it. And then there's people like myself, and then there's people like Damani who are just busting our ass. And Damani's seeing some great results, and we're hoping that we can figure out how to break the code. But listen, when I used to do advertising for the show, we were killing it. We were competing, but we also put $30,000 in advertising in the first 2.5 years of the show. It was an investment. We don't do that now, but it's a little frustrating. So when you see 3.5 billion impressions in between 5 channels, like I said, an up-and-comer section would be great. How about having just, hey, this one's getting some traffic. Let's put them out there. Let's put them on a spotlight for the week and get some new talent out there. The reason why is because they don't get the advertising dollars. Because YouTube, it's a business, and Megyn Kelly gets them advertisers. That's why they do it. So you have to just basically just hit that fortunate pop, and you get in there. Matt, could you consider doing 1 show a week instead? Huh? You want less show? What do you mean, Ginger? No, I'll never consider it. No, why would I do that? No, because first of all, I'll go bankrupt. That's so, listen, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't make our goal going. We can't make our goal going at 3 hours. How are we going to do it at 2? How are we going to do it in an hour? No, there is working less isn't the answer. I want to work more. And the only way I can work more is by hitting the goals so I can focus on other things, so I can invest in other things. So that's the strategy. You know what I mean? But no,
what I foresaw within 5 years, my ultimate goal, this is what honestly, what I was hoping for, was that when I went to go to retire from the Navy and from contracting, that Matt and I would end up on a similar kind of level as like me going in, right, having a Steven Crowder kind of moment, right, where we have a certain number of staff who had the ability to not only help us write, but maybe spice certain things up over here, or do that. But Matt was obviously still the driving force of this whole thing. And, we could potentially go on for, 6 hours a day. That would be kind of fun, right? So you can't get to that point if you're only going on for 1 hour or 1 show a week. There's just not enough love there. So unfortunately, social media is a monster. And the key to that is not less content. It has to be more.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Tim Pool, he's the hardest working guy in the business. I mean, that guy's on all the time. And there's several guys from Rumble who are on all the time. And it's just, listen, it's not about that. It's about, well, can we come on at 7 p.m.? Sure, but that's 4 o'clock in the West Coast. So we're already on at 7 p.m. So what you're saying is go on at 6 p.m. And now it's 3 o'clock on the West Coast. And now we isolate Mountain Time and Central, middle of dinner. No, you can't. So my goal is I want to go on at 11 to 1, and then I want to go on from 7 to 9, twice a day. But we can't do that. Matt, could you run an Apple store one day a week? Sure. For 5 times. Yeah. 5 times in a week. Sure. But I don't want to run an Apple store. I don't understand I don't understand these questions tonight. They don't make any sense to me. I'm confused. So it's like, you guys want me to quit? I don't understand what you're saying. It sounds like you want me to do less.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It does. It's
only
like
do one show.
Go
and
back
get a
to
second
Apple.
Right,
go back to Apple. Okay, sure. Bye, folks. We'll see you guys later. Have a good. Fuck it. The fuck.
Right.
Have you tried stripping? No, Ryan. I haven't tried stripping. Maybe
I have.
It's not that the show does very well, but we can't. We can't do 3 hours every night, and we can, but then the show costs. You know what that's, but see, this is hilarious. If I put up the donation, then we're going to be on 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night. So what we need to do is we know we're going to hit it. We just need to hit it. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting to the last minute. I think people know what I'm talking about because there's people who hold until the end, and it's just, stop doing that. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's not good. Look at what we're doing right now. We should be talking about the news, but I'm talking about trying to get donations up. Like, I shouldn't have to be doing this. Like, it's not that I want you. You have to donate.
Joseph Hillstrom.
Thank you. Nice copper tone tan.
$21.10 says nice copper tone tan, Leeroy. Fuck you. Good to see you. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, so we shouldn't have to be doing this every night. You know what I mean? It should just be a natural thing. If you're gonna give. If you're not, don't. And it's okay. And if we don't hit it, that's fine. But we always do. That's my point. Okay, Eric Erickson. Let's get into this. He just tell me if this sounds familiar. Okay, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Steal more content from you?
I'm not going to say I don't think he steals content from me. This is the first time I've ever caught him saying. But this is something that I've been saying for a long time, and it wasn't out there. And you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm crazy. Here it is.
All right.
I think Donald Trump knows how to play the Democrats. Just look at what happened with illegal immigration. Overwhelmingly, voters, it's a top 5 issue for them. Donald Trump begins to aggressively arrest and deport illegal aliens, most of whom are gangbangers and criminals. And the Democrats...
James, I don't work 10 to 12 hours a day. I would love to work 10 hours a day. That would be amazing. Yeah, I don't work 10 to 12 hours a day.
Suddenly on the side of illegal immigrants, they take an 80-20 issue and they find the 20% side. Now Donald Trump is taking on crime. Another issue that voters have been concerned about and helped him get elected was the issue of crime. He's staked out the 80% side. Democrats are rushing to the 20% side. They're on the side of the criminal. They're trying to claim it doesn't matter. They're trying to cite statistics that are dubious. I don't think he's doing this in Washington, D.C. as a distraction from Epstein. And I have said I thought some of the stuff he had done were to move people on from that conversation. This is not one of them. He's just found another 80-20 issue where the Democrats will naturally be on the 20% side, the side no one wants to be on except the Democrats. He's learned how to play them. On the major issues of the day, crime and immigration, the economy, Donald Trump's trying to stake out position. I think he's wrong on tariffs, but nonetheless, on crime and immigration, he's on the 80% side, and he's forced the Democrats to take on the side of the criminals and the illegal aliens and the gangbangers. It's actually kind of wild to see how he plays the Democrats so predictably. And again, it's like I said at the beginning of the hour, if Donald Trump came out today and said breathing is good, Democrats would say breathing is bad. You should hold your breath. He's in their head that much.
I'm not gonna pretend that the 80-20 shtick was around 6 months ago, because it wasn't. And I can sit. I guess I could probably do some research and find out who was saying it, but it started with Fox News and Jesse Waters.
Right.
after we did it. And Leeroy and I were on, and we started talking about the 80-20. And he was like, well, the question was, what are the Democrats going to run on, and what do they have left? You remember this conversation.
Right.
And I said,
we went through each policy from both parties prior to the election to say, all right, if this is what this party is representing, then the opposite side of that coin looks like this. We broke everything down.
Yeah. And specifically said the 80-20 rule, which is he's taking the 80% approval rating. And how I knew this and how I know that it wasn't being talked about is I looked at the major topics before the election, and everything that was in Donald Trump's corner that he was winning on, it was all 79, 82% of the country. And I was like, well, this is an 80-20 split. He has all the hot button issues. Hey, just get her down. He has all the hot button issues. And so said 80-20. This is like the 80. He makes them take the 20, and they get the unpopular stuff, and he makes them take it because he used that Democrat adage of he could cure cancer. And then they would say, oh, well, look at all the oncologists who got fired. Well, that was my theory, was it's not he's playing them. He just takes the issue and they play themselves. It just sounds too damn familiar. So take that with 2.5 billion to 3.5 billion impressions on 5 channels. Take it working the hours, working the days, that you want that break, right? You want that break to take place because you want to get to a spot where you can start talking to. It's great to talk to 1,000 people. It's great to talk to 10,000 people. This month, we've talked to 12 million people. We're moving up again. We're getting back to where we were. We were doing 120 million a month. That's what we want. So the good news is I'm not getting distracted, or I'm not getting less determined. I'm getting pissed off, and that's a good thing. Me pissed off is good, because then I just keep hitting it and keep taking risks, and we keep moving forward. So I just want us to understand is that there's a lot of things that we've touched on that we get, and more people need to hear it. And the only way we're going to do that is grow. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Podcast is doing very well, by the way. Podcast is doing exceptional.
With regard to Eric Erickson, we have been saying that exact message for the last 6 months. While Trump was campaigning, we were talking about this. The big hot button issues at the time were things like immigration and inflation, cost of living, the jobs market, climate change, healthcare, debt, crime, education. When you started to kind of figure out which party was in support of immigration and which one was illegal immigration and which one was against it, right? Just by virtue that it was Trump, the Democrats had painted themselves into the corner. And that's what Eric Erickson was talking about with this 80-20 thing. Just by Trump being in the more popular camp, with regard to how most Americans feel about illegal immigration or how most Americans feel about inflation, right? All the way down the list of topics. That's the 80-20 rule. Again, we've been talking about that for the last 6 months.
Yeah. So that's it. It's just, there are things where, you see a meme, and nobody told me who that shadow guy is from Canada, by the way. He shared one of my memes, but he won't come on the show. So it just, you just get kind of get discouraged sometimes. I'm not that. I'm just pissed. And I'm looking at some of the content creators out there. Like, I'm going to show you something from Benny today. And he got invited to the White House. And I'm going to show it to you after this. And I promise you're going to be upset. Because I'm upset. Because you get invited to go sit in the White House, and then you do something like this. And you guys tell me what you think. We got to go take a quick break, but we also have the trivia question of the night.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear.
And this isn't it. This is not the question of the night. This is last night, but we do this. Do not answer it this time. Olivia, tell them how to go ahead and enter.
Is my mic on? Hi, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to text 276 200-2105 with the answer and your first and last name. The first person to get text in with the correct answer and your first and last name wins, and JD Stillwell donates $10 in your name for winning the contest. Also, if anyone is interested in joining this and coming up with a question and doing the donation for the night, please reach out to me. It is open to anyone who would like to help.
Okay. What was that last part?
If anyone else wants to help with the donation, like actually ask a question and do the donate the donation.
Okay, cool.
I guess would say, yeah. So
Donate the donation.
donate the donation, yeah.
All right, so here we go, and we're going to play it. And remember, phone number one more time, 276-200-2105. You have to put your name, you got to put the answer, and you got to make sure that you don't use another form of communication. If you can't text, I'm sorry. And try not to put that in chat. Here we go, and we're going to switch over, and the question will pop up. Maybe.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking I can't do it. I can't untighten
That's
it.
what she said.
That's what she's. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child got 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there. Why do you've been doing it since you were 2 years old? Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
Better at
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden. I just want to let you guys know that the answer, we need the names. Can't just be the family. We need the names. I know the answer to this. So get to work.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm gonna owe them money with help.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh, yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
All right, folks, we appreciate it. Thank you. Donations, I don't know where any of those are. I'm reading something really quick. Okay. All right. So I also got a text from somebody. I'll read that from Waldo. I did see that. I didn't see it today. I'll read your text. It's really long, so I'll read it later. So I'm not going to do a 1 through 5. I'm going to read who got it wrong. Scotty Bix, Bush Jr. and Bush Sr. That's wrong. Carrie, that's right, but unfortunately, you got to do the names of them. That's the point of this. So you can't just name the families. It's got to be the name of the president. So I'll give you a hint. The second and the 6th president, I believe, and then the 41st and 43rd. would be my guess. Second in the 6 is it. Someone fact check me. Once again, nope, on Frank Wood. Nope, Bubba, not Rodney King. Judy Gurley, there's 2. Yes, there are 2. Oh, I think we have a winner.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, yes we do. It is John. Yep, that's correct. John Adams and John Quincy Adams. Yep, correct. And George Bush and George W. Bush, Jr. and Sr. Frank Riley got it. Frank Riley wins it tonight. Those are the type of questions we need to have.
Funny, I'm the one who came up with that
job.
question. Anyway, that was all.
And
That
just
was my
FYI,
question.
John Adams, right, who's the second president, was part of the was part of the Federalist Party, but his son, I think, oh no, he was part of the same party.
Yeah,
they're Whig Party.
Yep.
Hi, Leeroy.
Part of the
Night, everyone.
How you doing?
Thanks, babe. I'm hoping we get some donations here, honey. Otherwise, it's going to be an early night. Okay, so that is fun. That is correct. That is right. Good stuff. Can you come over and close this door? Thank you. So I was referring to something earlier today in regards to Benny Johnson at the White House. And I got to find the clip.
Benny Johnson.
And I don't. Oh, did they take it all down? Hold on. Sorry, folks. Little station identification here. Oh, he pulled it. Oh, dude. Benny. Benny. Come on. Oh, here it is. Got it. Got it. You cannot escape me. Now I am the master. All right, here we go. So, how many on Facebook tonight? Oh, I don't know. 60.
What's Facebook?
Yeah. It's a very slow night tonight. Trying to get this play, folks. It's amazing. Some things don't do well. Some things don't react too well with bullets. Like me.
Like me. I don't react too well to bullets.
That's right. All right. Let's see if I can get this video. Dude, it will not load. What the hell?
What'd you do?
Sorry, I got to get this thing to load. This is insanity. All right, let me try a different browser. I mean, this is interesting. Why is it that this video is nowhere to be found on Twitter, and why is the only copy not working? Just saying. It's not a conspiracy.
A little sus, right?
All right, I got it. I'm going to Chrome. Going to Chrome. All right, here it is. So you guys tell me, listen to this. You tell me what you think. You tell me. Because you guys know I have said how bad DC is as far as crime. We broke that video down today. I walked you through it with a graph last night. I explained it to you. I showed you why the numbers are not correct. Benny Johnson was in the White House today in the press briefing room. He has a position of honor. He has his own building, his own room. I mean, geez, I'm surprised they don't put him in the Lincoln bedroom. Jealous? Yeah, a little bit. Not going to lie. I think I'm better than Benny, but he has a different set of talents. And this is one of them. Holy crap. Listen to this. Okay, this is ridiculous. This is on a different browser. Have you ever seen a video like that not work? Come on.
No.
Come on. I mean, after 2 reloads. Oh, this is insane. Come the fuck on. Are you serious? It is completely.
Did it log you out? Is that what
Yeah.
it was?
Yeah, no, it just logged me out for no reason. I never get logged out. Benny Johnson, White House Press. These all work.
Isn't that it down there?
No.
Yeah, that one.
This one's it.
Always, we'll start with our new media seat.
Finally. Here we go. Let's listen. All right, you guys tell me what you think.
Who I'm sure you have a lot of questions today. I'm happy to get to them, so let's get started. And as always, we'll start with our new media seat, who is our podcast host today, Benny Johnson. Benny, why don't you kick us off, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Caroline. As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings and so much theft. I lost track. I was carjacked. I have murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings. I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20, and my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside. And so to any reporter that says and lies that DC is a safe place to live and work, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for making this city safe, because no parent should have to go through what my family went through, having the fire department rip open their door to save their infant child. And so thank you for your work on securing this city. My question to you is this. Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city, saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary.
Sure. Well, first of all, Benny, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. There have been, unfortunately, far too many victims of crime in this city, and I know the majority of residents in the District of Columbia agree with you. In fact, a new poll from the Washington Post I was reading this morning, this was released in May of 2024, so it's quite funny how many of you in the media agreed with what the president was saying yesterday, but now once the president says it, many of you are disagreeing with him. But this poll released by the Washington Post found that 65% of district residents think crime is an extremely serious or a very...
All right, we got to the point. Murders, plural, on my Ring cam. Drive-by shootings on my Ring cam. Muggings on my Ring cam. House set ablaze. What are your thoughts, Leeroy? I mean, what is it? You're on the biggest national stage. You're on every news channel. You're in the White House press briefing room. You start off with anecdotal statements about crimes that you have evidence for. You have videos for showing multiple murders. That's what he said.
Right.
House set ablaze.
Hasn't anything been done about that before? You have the evidence that's already there.
Is it? Wait a second. I want to. I don't even want to say. I want to get to the point of, is he completely full of shit or not? That's what I want to do. I don't even want to talk about. But
I don't know that there's a solid answer. If the question was a setup question, which it certainly seemed like it was, because she immediately pivoted to Benny to say, "Hey, why don't you kick us off, Benny?" Not like that was rehearsed.
Well,
right?
that's the seat. So, that's the hold on. That's the seat that
well,
let me explain it for the viewer, please. We got invited for that, as every other podcaster did, to sign up for. And all they've done is pick top 5 conservative, top 10 conservative influencers like Tim Pool, like Benny Johnson, to go there. That's all I'm going to say. So sometimes it's for the viewer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I understand that that was going to happen. What I'm saying is that that was already something where they were already playing off of each other. They already knew what the answer to that question was going to be prior to even asking it. So for Benny to basically say he already had evidence of crimes and talked about his house that had an attempted burning down with his kids still inside it. I mean, it's tragic, yes, but I don't know. It just seemed like it was a layup almost.
I just want to speculate a little bit. Okay, just want to speculate. That's all I'm
with
saying.
you.
If people can go after Tim Kennedy for a Medal of Valor with an oak leaf cluster and him lobbing 36 grenades into an open window to take out terrorists and children, we can spend some time on this. I just don't, people are saying, well, he mentioned this on his show. I've went through every opportunity that I can to find something on this, a police report, search shows. I haven't found anything. And so I'm going to listen to it again. And we're not going to watch it. We're just going to listen to it. Just that one portion.
My block got held up. I lost track. I lived on Capitol Hill.
Podcast host today, Benny Johnson. Benny, why don't you kick us off, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Caroline. As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings and so much theft. I lost.
All right, so many muggings, which is more than one. So many means, how many is so many, do you think?
I'm going to speculate that's at least 3 or 4, right?
Right. So a few would be 3. So many would be more than 3. So let's just say 4. Let's give them the benefit of 4 muggings, okay? 4 muggings.
Track. I was carjacked. I had
carjacked. Okay. So he was carjacked.
Murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings.
Murders.
Mass shooting.
Mass shootings. So murders separate from mass shootings. Mass shootings are different. Murders, people, murders, plural. More than one person or simultaneously multiple people getting killed on a ring cam. And mass shootings. Okay? Is that fair?
Right.
Okay.
I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20.
Woman on the block getting held up by gunpoint. Now, that could be one of these muggings, but he's separating them. Okay.
And my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside.
Okay, so let's just do some. Okay, how old is Benny's daughter? Now, here's what I know is that
God bless you.
Thank you. Available information. His wife, Kate, have 4 children as of 2025, 3 daughters and 1 son. Youngest child was born in 2025. How about the oldest? Let's look this up. So we're going to look at the oldest child. And we're finding this out. Oldest daughter was born in, holy crap, she's been busy. 2020. 2020. Holy crap.
Wow.
So that woman has literally been on her back for most of her last 5 years. Good for her. Miss Johnson, you are taking it like a champ. Knocking out 4 kids in 5 years. Holy shit. Go Benny.
Right.
All right. So good for her. And
next one would probably just fall out.
Well, that's what So he lived in DC on Capitol Hill. If he did it for 15 years, I just want to know, because listen, if you research Benny, so he originally was hit with plagiarism for stealing people's stuff. And Listen, Benny still steals people's stuff. What he does is he takes people's ideas, he takes their memes, he cuts off their tags, he doesn't tag them, uses their content and puts it on his show. That type of stuff is frustrating. But I'm just trying to understand, if he lived in D.C. for 15 years and all of these crimes took place, there should be police records of this, right? And we should have seen him in a trial. We should have seen him in business. We should have had a police report or an attempted arson investigation. Something should have come out of that.
Somebody should have been prosecuted for any one of the crimes that he had already laid out. Like, surely of those crimes, somebody got nabbed.
Right. Earliest record placement of him is BuzzFeed Bureau roll in 2012, confirming he was in D.C. in 2012. So if he was in there for 15 years, that would put him in D.C. until 2027. That's not true. So he must have lived in D.C. prior to that. And I think that's fair, that the earliest it could have been, because he's in Florida now, and he's been in Florida for at least a few years.
Mm-hmm.
At least. Let's find out. Matt, you're so petty. Why are you spending time on this? Because credibility is important to me. It really is. He moved to Florida. Oh my God. Leeroy.
Yep.
2021. July.
He moved.
So he purchased a home in Florida in 2021 in July. But his first child was born in 2020. So that infant child would have had to have been conceived, because if it was set on fire, then it would be infant child in mother's tummy. So they had like a 3-month window for that. And when you say infant, newborn, okay, you know. So what are the odds? What are the chances of that? I know you don't know, but does that piss you off just a little bit, that even any of those things could be not true?
Well, to your point, the credibility, if it's even remotely dubious, right? And that's the correct way to use that word, by the way, Eric Erickson. If any part of that is untrue, that's kind of what we hinge our reputations on, right? As journalists, as podcasters, is someone who can say, hey, look, these are the facts of what is going on. And if any part of that is fabricated, well, that's the string that once you start pulling on it, now more and more stories start to fall apart. So now we have an issue, right?
Well, even if some of it's true, then just talk about the true stuff. Somebody said that he was posting.
You don't have to make shit up.
Right. He was, and I'm not saying he is. I'm just,
right.
And I hate to do the I'm just asking questions bit, but I'm just asking questions. People said that he posted ring cam video on his site yesterday. I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Who is in the news media, thanked press secretary, blah, blah, blah. My security camera will show you what life was like for family living in D.C. Oh, okay. Holy shit. See, because there are people who are going and saying he's lying and he's full of shit and these things never happen. But if he's actually got the evidence and this is true, and my point is this, is yes, credibility. If he's lying, that's important and needs to be held accountable. But the other scary part of this is that a person who lived there for 15 years literally...
Who would put up with that?
But it's not just who would put up with that, but look at the shit that he went through. And that just demonstrates how fucking dangerous Washington, D.C. is. So either way, even if he's telling partial truths, but here's the video. Here's the video. Let's see it.
They were going to trim that bush anyway.
I've had that happen. I've had a guy, not here, but in California, I had a guy hide in my front yard. So all of these people. So right now, he's got a guy hiding. That's enough for me. We can call that a burglary. We can call that a strong arm robbery. Now he's got his fire in his house, which obviously there's a police report for this. So now you've got evidence of this. So do we take the rest and say maybe he's not exaggerating? Maybe he's being honest, because right there's a fire in his house. He moved shortly after to Florida. So all the people speculating that he's lying and being deceitful, they have no idea. And we've confirmed 3 things. We confirmed that he did have a daughter. Well, more than that, we've confirmed 4. That he had a daughter, that he did in fact live in D.C. at the time, that he did move to Florida within that window, that very small window of time when his newborn daughter was born, and this fire took place. And he does have Ring camera footage. Suzanne says he's lying. He had 2 kids when he moved. Well, he said, here's the thing. I don't think this is about making him a liar or not. I think what it's about is that people don't take the time to research and find out, like we are, to ensure that we're right about what we're saying. Leeroy is saying nothing. Leeroy is just simply saying, maybe. But
well, and that's the point, is that like if you're being intentionally deceitful and somebody finds out about it, you as a journalist, you're done. You have no credibility left. All I'm saying is that, like, if any part of that story doesn't add up, does anything sound fishy? I don't know. I certainly wasn't there, but now that we're seeing some of this video,
thank you, Thomas.
That it lends to a little more of the credibility piece, right? Thank you,
Come
Thomas.
Come on, dummies. If I can give a little right now, we all can. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're getting manhandled tonight. We've got 13 minutes and we're already down big time. 217, 207 or 100. What is it? 170 something. 180.
177.
177 down. Oh, tough night. Why would he lie? I don't know.
Why does anyone lie?
Tommy. I mean, it's not like he hasn't done it before, but do we assume that he's lying now? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough evidence to assume that, but so far we've confirmed 2 things. One is it looks like there was somebody who was involved in a robbery or possibly a shooting that could fall. Is it exaggerated a little bit? Maybe, but his home was set on fire. That's pretty serious. My point is that when you jump to conclusions and your first initial reaction, no matter how much you like or dislike somebody, and there are days I kind of like Benny and there's days I don't like him, he still deserves the benefit of the doubt and innocent until proven guilty. And although I'm a little frustrated, by some of those things, so far we've confirmed quite a few things. Robert says, trying to find the give button. You go to thedumbshow.com/donate. That's what you do. My friend, why is it not up on our goal here? All right. So who do we have on the phone?
Frank.
I'm sorry?
How you doing, Frank?
Is that for Frank? Oh, it was real. Wait, it just cut out on me. Go ahead, Frank. What's up?
Hey, I just want to say welcome back, Leeroy. And the one
Thank you,
thing
sir.
we're missing on this whole Benny Johnson thing, out of all of these White House interviews that I've watched, he is the first one that I've ever seen go right away for self-promotion. He started out with it, making it all about him instead of asking a pertinent question. That's what I draw from this.
Yeah.
A little
That's a good
self-grandizing.
observation.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's a great observation.
That's the part that pisses me off. You get Peter Doocy up there or any of those White House correspondents, as soon as she calls on them, it's like, what about blah, 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 blah. And they go right into the question, a pertinent question. With Benny,
hold on,
wasn't
Frank.
like that at all.
Debbie Boggs
Go ahead.
donated $20. Hope you had a wonderful vacation, Larry. Welcome back, fellow Ohioan. Thank you, Debbie.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, Frank. Finish up. Sorry.
No, that was it. That was the first thing that I noticed. that stuck out to me like a sore thumb. And then he broke into a question. Now, whether he was trying to make that pertinent to the question that he was going to ask, maybe that was it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But why make it about you? Why not just go into the question and ask?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, doesn't it make you think?
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, knowing what you know about Benny and the way he operates, this doesn't surprise me or shock me at all.
But we did find some information that makes us feel like at least there is some truth to it. And
no dispute.
You know what I mean?
No dispute there.
And
exactly.
So I just got to do what I got to do. And what I got to do is question everything. And whether
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, whether it's Betty or not, I still have to question it. Sorry, Leeroy, I'm trying to make sure everyone has the address. There is the address, thedumbshow.com/donate. There is no give button because Facebook took it away from us. So we don't have that. You have to go to the show and do it. And that's the best way. So Frank, I appreciate your take. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but my opinion is that we have to call out everybody. I call out Candace Owens all the time, and I'd feel really stupid for not calling out Benny. And I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying, let's check. And as of right now, circumstantial, high level is that he is at least being honest with some of it. And that's good enough for now. And honestly, the internet will out him if this gets worse. And if he is found out that he's misrepresenting, then it'll out. And we'll hear
designated attorney.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Look, I won't take up any more of your time. We probably stayed on this way too long, but
no, it's okay.
Leeroy, welcome back. We missed you.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a great night. Love you, brothers.
All right, man.
Thank you very much.
Joseph Hillstrom says it was personal, but Benny, he was there. Yeah, I understand that. We've already, Joseph, nobody is saying that Benny Johnson is lying. What I'm saying is that it sounds exaggerated to me. And if you've seen mass shootings on your video camera and Ring camera, that's something that, okay. If you've seen multiple muggings, okay. If you've seen your house is on fire, okay. And you add all of those things up, and that's a lot for one person to be involved in, and that's concerning to me if he was not being honest. But I just said it. Right now, he has evidence of a Ring camera that there was a fire. He's obviously knows that he's going to be fact checked on this. So at this point, let's say, great.
Two quick points.
Go ahead.
On this is that there is a little bit of a difference when you're dealing with outright lies versus maybe what some would consider embellishments. Thank you, Melanie Marino, who donated $31.40 and says, sorry at Ballfield, and Grand Boys took a minute to get this up. Thank you very much, Melanie.
Yes, ma'am.
So that there's a little bit of a difference between just outright lying and maybe, exaggerating a little bit for the sake of, attention. We're not saying either. I'm just saying that there's a lot there that one would have to go through. And I don't know. I guess I would just like to get some clarification on some of those points. My other quick point is that he's not saying anything new. Back when Joe Biden still had his cognitive functions about him back in the late 90s, there was a video of Joe Biden who basically he had instructed his entire staff.
Reminded me, don't stop at a stoplight.
There you go.
Sorry, I had it loaded for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to press play. Go
no,
ahead.
I'm glad you pulled it up.
Okay, well, I had it already because I'm going to show it tonight. It's funny how great minds. How about this? Finish your thought, and then I'll play it.
No, because I don't want to explain what's already in the video.
Okay, and then Joseph Hillstrom wants your view that you've already given. So, okay.
Drive
on Benny. He's been giving it the whole time.
Driving home, my staff who lives here in the Hill reminded me, don't stop at a stoplight until I'm out of town. If I see a red light late at night, since there's very little traffic, slow up at the other block so I never come to a full stop except in the middle of the block because of carjackings. Stopping at a light, people standing in a corner, walking up with a gun. Driving home, my staff...
Debbie Boggs, I don't know. I believe we said thank you. We might have missed the transition, but either way, if we missed that, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for your donation. So finish your thought on Biden, and then they want your take on the Benny thing, even though I think you already gave it.
Yeah, I've always been of the. I work Intel, folks. The entire philosophy behind that is trust but verify, right? Only report on facts. Just that's a lot to take in, and maybe it's because I live in Ohio. Maybe it's because I'm not that well versed on the dealings that happens in inner DC, but that just seems like a lot of crime to be personally privy to.
Yeah.
And like nothing has ever been done from it. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying that, man, that's
a lot to happen to one guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Listen, I lived in some rough neighborhoods, and I can list some things that I saw that probably, would put me in a position to say that I saw some crime being from Los Angeles that were a little strange. Once again, this is the problem. So that's Leeroy's take. Leeroy's take is that it sounds, there's some credible evidence there that he's put out, but it sounds a little excessive. Sounds like a little much. And let's face it, when you ask why would Benny lie? Well, why does Benny lie every day? Because Benny does. And he says things like on his gotchas. I mean, all you got to do is scroll his page and I'll show you something that isn't true. And I don't even have to spend more than a few minutes there. Do we really need to do this? Do we need to look at, the things that he says? Like, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump deal is here, and there's a peace treaty and there's not, and people click into it, and what you find is that they're going to meet next week. So there's gotcha headlines, and he does the getcha type stuff, and that's not okay to me. That's credibility, and it makes you question the things that he said in the press briefing. So that's all. I already admit there's a little jealousy there. Of course there is. Do I think? Bless you. Do I think Benny is the best representation of the conservative movement? No, I don't. Yeah, I think he probably stretched the truth a little bit. Robert Marlar, $21.10. Robert, I think you're a new donor. Thank you so much for donating. Joseph, Matthew and Leeroy, carjacking is an epidemic in Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota by teens. Not effing kidding, firsthand knowledge. I know this. I'm aware. And carjackings are crazy in Washington, D.C. We're not questioning that crime isn't real. You haven't watched my video, obviously, you weren't watching last night, Joseph. I'm the one that walked through and literally picked apart and destroyed the media's narrative around crime. My comment, Frank Wood donated $51. Hope this helps. Frank, it does immensely.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you so much, brother. So my point about this whole thing is not that Benny Johnson's lying. My thought is, first of all, people are going to question his credibility based upon his past, which is checkered. And second, it sounds a little excessive. But I openly admit he had a fire at his house. And that was my big concern. Is like, dude, if my infant daughter and someone tried to kill them, you're damn skippy. I'm out of there. And that makes complete sense. You know what I mean? That's all. Okay, let's move on. Robert, thank you for donating either way. I just missed it, but thank you. By the way, you guys, there's going to be a segment at the end of the show, the closing credits, where I've listed every single person who's donated through PayPal. Venmo does not allow me to get that data, so without submitting a request. So you're going to see a lot of people from Venmo who've donated, but everyone who's donated through PayPal will be on the list. And it's our little closing thing. So I just wanted you to know, no one get upset. I'm still working on Venmo. I saved the file. I'm going to rewrite it tomorrow. It goes by too fast because it's hundreds of people. But I thought it was important, instead of just having a few names, to have everybody's name. So when you look at the closing tonight, you should see your name if you donated through PayPal. If you don't, just let me know. It was just an oversight. It's a mistake. We're not making it personal. And we will have the Venmo names up as soon as I can get hold of somebody at Venmo. Here is Tom. Now, here's somebody, Tim Burchett. Tim Burchett, he walks in D.C. all the time. Like, that's the one thing you see is he is always walking in D.C. He leaves the Capitol grounds. He's out there at 6:30. He's out there at 5, and he's walking to his apartment. I can listen to him. I can listen to his opinion, and this is what he has to say. Take a listen to this.
This town is out of touch. Its leadership is out of touch. I like the mayor. She's a nice lady. I just think it's way past that. You don't want to go out on the streets at night in Washington, D.C. That's one of I come from a family of public educators.
Gotcha.
That's one of the reasons I live in my office at night. But the other reason is it's too dadgum dangerous, brother. It is dangerous. Everybody knows it.
All right, so I can tell you this. The Colorado Avalanche have come to Washington, D.C. 4 times since I've lived here. 4 times. And I can tell you that I've been to a Washington Capitals game, actually 5 times, because I was living here, but the family wasn't. And that is the first game I've been to. No, 2 games. I was here when I went with Flags of Valor with Brian Stortz and Joe, the owners of Flags of Valor. We had box seats. I saw that game. And then, second time, we took the family down, which was year 2 that I was here, because we love the Avs. I will never go back to D.C. In fact, we have not been down to the Smithsonian.
Not bad, huh?
We haven't been down to the Smithsonian. We haven't been down to the Washington Monument. We went during COVID because everyone was locked up, and we walked around. We couldn't go in any of the museums because they were closed. But we will not go to D.C. And I've been down there in black tie events, Hiring Our Heroes, Green Beret Foundation, Travis Manion Foundation dinners, because that's what we did. We did a lot of fundraising. And I'll tell you, I won't take my family down to D.C.
That's probably pretty smart. Because apparently what Benny's reporting is that you could, you could be mugged, you could be
raped,
your car jacked out from underneath you. Sure. Cattle raped and women stampeded. Yes.
Someone needs to go back to town and get a shitload of dimes. What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? All right, so stampede the women and rape the cattle. Candace Owens is back. I know you hate me, and I'm sorry. It's only a minute tonight. But Candace has went from, I can't wait for Discovery, to please buy my shirts because I can't afford this lawsuit. I got to call out. Listen, why are you calling out conservatives? Because she's not a conservative, okay? She's not a conservative. She's a nutter. Here is Candace Owens. I can't wait for Discovery to buy my shirts because I'm going to be broke.
And this lawsuit, we got an estimate this weekend from a legal team.
Remember who called this? And I said this is going to cost her millions because of the international travel that it's going to take. International lawsuits are not cheap. Just the licensing alone for those attorneys is going to cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get those international lawyers. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. It is going to cost us millions.
Yep. I
don't have that money.
I told you, and I told you what she was worth, and I told you she didn't have the money. I said, she don't have the money. You're going up against France. France. You're literally going up against 2 leaders of a country. I
really don't.
Candace Owens estimated net worth $5 million. Candace's husband George Farmer's estimated 180 to 240. Now that's the rub. Hubby has to come in, so she can sit here and say, "Oh, I only am worth $5 million. I can't afford these damages." But the problem is, it's not just you that said it. You've brought your husband involved into this. So now, why do you think they're coming after you? It's because of what your husband has, not because of what you have.
I got to tell you, the estimate that we got, and I want to be clear, this is if it goes all the way through. So they said, from start to finish, if they don't drop this at some point, blah, 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 here's how much it's going to cost you just to get through the deposition phase. How much it's going to cost you to go all the way through. And they are estimating $5 million. It's a lot of money. And we do not have that money just laying around.
Wow.
So I thought we could actually sell some t-shirts. I just picture people wearing this like at the grocery store, like walking by each other, and like we know what it means, like hashtag free Emmanuel. It's like subtle enough. I really like this, free Emmanuel. You're going to see somebody wearing a t-shirt and be like, we know what's up. We know what's going on in France. Somebody rescue Emmanuel Macron. I'm not kidding. The estimate is millions of dollars.
Maybe you should have shouldn't have libel and slandered. You know what I mean?
And this lawsuit, we got an estimate.
I mean, maybe that's what happens when you say the leader of a country is really a man and he killed his sister, took his sister's place, who died and became a woman. After they sent you birth certificates, after they sent you photographs as a child, after they send you wedding photos and bikini photos where a giant dick is not present, even a little one, and you still persisted. You were warned. You got a cease and desist and you ignored it. I mean, this is what you wanted. Congratulations. Can you imagine? Lois, you're a doll.
Lois Bentley donated $21.10. Thank you, Lois.
Listen, and thank you, Lois. And you buying shirts from Candace isn't going to help her at all. So buy a shirt from us. Go to thedumbshow.com.
I want to, if you buy one of our shirts, we will make a shirt that says free Leeroy.
Yes, free Leeroy. Free Willie.
Free, even better.
That doesn't, you don't have to pay for that. Here is the new chief of police for Washington, D.C. asked a very difficult question, a question that's very hard. Barbara Alexander says, her deciding to say whether or not someone is a man or not was freaking stupid. Who cares? Well, I agree with you. But the who cares is, I care.
A lot of people do.
I care. I care. I care. And the reason why I care is because she's worth $5 million. And she has a network, and she hates Jews, and she uses her platform to go after and try to disseminate and get on the pulpit and talk about and espouse things about anti-Semitism and say, I'm just noticing things. I'm just asking questions. Sorry, I don't like the woman at all, and I think she's garbage. So I care. You know what I mean? Here is the police chief. Very tough question, and I want you guys to see if you know the answer.
That's what the chain of command is now?
What is the chain of command? What is the chain of command? Leeroy? Barbara Alexander says, you care if someone is a man or not? That's not anything that I said. You didn't even listen to me. Barbara, you didn't even listen. I said, I care that she uses her platform to espouse anti-Semitic tropes and beliefs about people, and I think she should be held accountable. And the second thing is that, yes, if you libel and slander somebody, you should be held accountable in the court of law. So, yeah, I care about that. I certainly do.
How many times has Matt in the chat basically said, hey, anybody that goes ahead and speculates or posts memes that Michelle Obama has a dick, you're going to get banned.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. And that's what Candace Owen was doing. We've maintained the same messaging this entire time.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Let's not talk about that kind of crap because it's stupid.
It is stupid. And it's just it's lowbrow liberal bullshit.
Yes.
And if you can't make an argument of why Michelle Obama and Barack Obama are horrible people, if you can't make an argument why the Macrons are completely just 100% for populism and are progressives and don't deserve anyone's respect, if you can't make an argument about why you don't like Donald Trump and Melania, well, you shouldn't call her a whore because she posed nude in Europe, which pretty much everyone does.
Right.
So, no, I don't appreciate it. I don't like it.
Don't Photoshop dicks if you can't articulate why these people are terrible people to begin with. Then Photoshop is not it's not winning your argument.
Right.
That's what Matt's saying.
Yeah. Her deciding to say whether or not someone is a man or not was oh yeah, that's what we read. I read all the comments. What do you mean? I read them. What else should I read? What did I miss? What else did I miss, Christine? Let me look. Because I don't want her deciding to say whether or not someone is a man or not was freaking stupid. Who cares? You care if someone is a man or not. That's what I was talking about. I agree, but with you, I agree with you with Candace. I said she was stupid. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, So no, that's okay. Once again, chat is a very dangerous and lonely place because I can't see your replies. I'm glad you're agreeing with me. I'm just telling anyone who says who cares. I care. I care. I do. And usually what happens is when people don't have an argument, not saying you, Barbara, what usually people do is they go, who cares? I do. Like Howard Stern. I'm like, SiriusXM is deciding not to go ahead and re-sign him as of right now. And people are like, well, he's retiring. I'm like, well, no, he's not, because he just sent out and he just did a special show, which had Lars Ulrich on it, where he said, hey, we're going to be back. I'm just taking a break. But SiriusXM has not extended his contract. They're paying for his catalog. They already have that in the contract for 7 years. And they are saying essentially that they're not going to re-up him. So they're like, well, he's retiring. I'm like, that's not retiring. That means you've been canceled. You're done. You're
Colbert
fired.
is retiring.
Right. Colbert's retiring. So my point is and some people are like, who cares? I care. I care that Howard Stern, one of the most disreputable, scum-sucking douche plows ever, who made his living off of sexually exploiting women, is now claiming that Donald Trump is a horrible person and he's right as driven snow. Mr. Hollandaise, welcome back, Leeroy, 4151. Thank you for having us hit goal, $300. Thank you. Here is that person, Leeroy. Then you can talk about Howard Stern and this lady about chain of command. Here it is.
That's what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So the executive order is clear. The president has requested MPD services, and our home rule charter outlines the process. The president designated Attorney General Bondi as his proxy to request services through me.
That's what the chain of command.
Okay. Once again, I've tried to stay out of chat, but I really can't because Christine is someone who I care about, and I don't understand why this is blowing up. You care if someone is a man or not after I had made that comment. Her first comment, her deciding to say whether or not someone is a man or not was freaking stupid. Who cares? I care is what I said. The reply was, you care if someone is a man or not with a question mark? Yes, I do. Because of libel and slander. And she received a cease and desist. Matt, please read the whole comments. The next comment. That's what I was talking about. I agree with you about Candace. I said she was stupid for making a story. Well, that's it. I don't understand where the confusion is. Then you say you misspoke Barbara's comment. No, I didn't. That's what she said. Then I repeated it. Then she clarified and everybody's good now. Pretty simple. Leeroy, what do you think about the chief of police? Do you think she doesn't understand? Or I don't want to misgender them. He doesn't understand what chain of command is?
The fact that they would even have to ask, I don't know what that is, or have a breakdown of that as the chief of police, that should frighten everyone under her command.
Yeah.
Chain of command is there for a reason, right? And if you as the chief of police don't understand that, well, you've got issues then.
Okay. We were all good a long time ago. I don't know what you mean. So I read the statement the way the statement was stated. Clarification needs to happen sometimes. I care. That hasn't been retracted. I still care. Of course I care. I care when people libel and slander people. Yeah, that bothers me. Nancy Pelosi, speaking of slander, Donald Trump delayed deploying the National Guard on January 6th when our Capitol was under violent attack and lives were at stake. Complete fabrication and lie. Lie.
She is the one who delayed.
Such a lie. We have a letter
Donald
from
Trump offered it. She was the one who.
Yep, and she even is on video with her daughter stating that they fucked up.
Yeah.
She and Mark Meadows sent a letter attached to Muriel Bowser and the Master at Arms or Chief of the Capitol Police and the Sergeant of Arms of the Capitol Building and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. No, it's Mitch McConnell. So it's Senate Majority Leader and Speaker. They have authority. Now, they work with Capitol Police. National Guard is Donald Trump's responsibility and can federalize them anytime he wants. But he has to make an order to do so. Mark Meadows, which was chief of staff, asked. I have the letter. I've shown it 100 times on the show. And there was no reply. By the way, January 6th happened at the end of the day. I remember it well. I was sitting in Valor's home office. It's in Annapolis. And I had heard, it was around 3 o'clock, that J6, there was something at the Capitol. I think it was like 3:30. I stayed for an additional hour and a half, and then I drove home. And it was January, so it was long clock. Light, there was hardly any light out. It got dark quick. So I think I went live driving in the car, and I went live. Everybody remembers that. And I got stopped by the National Guard twice. National Guard already had roadblocks up and were completely set up. It's a fucking lie. But you can't just say, National Guard, let's go. That's not the way it works. If you want to work on a division of Marines that are on standby inside the White House, sure. If you want to go ahead and activate the Capitol Police, sure. But the National Guard is a different story. But they got him activated and they were deployed. So now she says, now he's activating the DC Guard to distract for his incompetent mishandling of tariffs, healthcare, education, immigration, just to name a few blunders. Oh,
what the
man.
hell does that have to do with the crime rate in the DC area? What
Nothing.
does tariffs have to do with that?
Nothing. And this
Connect
is
those dots for me, Nancy. Or just go and have another, Botox laced margarita and just leave us all the hell alone.
Lisa or Lana.
Oh,
Lisa, or not, stop it. It's her last name, Leeroy. Don't be graphic. Orlana. That's your last name. She says, Sons posted an irate response to Pelosi that she was basically lying. Well, I happen to have that response, and here it is. This is from Chief Stephen Sund. Ma'am, it is long past time to be honest with the American people. On January 3rd, I requested National Guard assistance, but your Sergeant-at-Arms denied it. Under federal law 2 U.S.C. 1970, I was prohibited from calling them in without specific approval. That same day, Carol Corbin at the Pentagon offered National Guard support, but I was forced to decline because I lacked the legal authority. On January 6th, while the Capitol was under attack, and despite my repeated calls, your Sergeant of Arms again denied my urgent request for over 70 agonizing minutes, running it up the chain for your approval. When I needed assistance, it was denied, yet when it suited you, you ordered fencing topped with concertina wire and surrounded the Capitol with thousands of armed National Guard troops. Caught
in her own trap.
Oh, shiznit. Yes.
Telling it like it is.
The President of the United States can absolutely federalize the National Guard, but he can also federalize the alphabet agencies. The National Guard, he has, I think it's under Article 1, he has the power to authorize for 30 days.
Do it for 30 days, right?
30 days, and then he has to get Senate approval, correct. But as far as federalizing the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, he has absolute authority to do that indefinitely. And remember, there was a little document that Leeroy and I brought to our show that talked about the authority of alphabet agencies and government agencies assisting local and state police on the authority of the government. Remember that document? It's for shit like this.
Yeah.
Donald Trump
was signed. That was signed under. That was drafted, signed, and implemented under Joe Biden, to basically say that any three-letter alphabet agencies who are working with local law enforcement will be given the absolute authority to use lethal force against citizens based off of what the local law enforcement wants. That should have terrified you. Still terrifies me.
The point is that this is very similar to what the SCOTUS decided when it came to immunity, qualified immunity, due to acting in the position of the President of the United States, which saved Donald Trump. Well, this is one of those things that Joe Biden put into place, but Donald Trump can reap the benefits from it. So he's got 30 days that he can federalize, and then he has to get Congress. But here's the thing. All he has to do is show a moderate. See, this is the problem. Just here's the why. Ask yourself the why. Why would Democrats not want crime to go down in D.C.? Because that's what they're saying. Don't federalize. Don't stop the crime. Why? Why don't they want it? Ask yourself the question.
Politics.
chaos is extremely beneficial. If you have not seen this video, and I made it from last night's show, please go and watch it. It's on the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's 6 minutes. I'm not going to play it right now, but I break down the statistics and the actual numbers from the DOJ, from the Capitol Police Department, from the FBI, that actually completely negate these fake and fictitious downward trend numbers that you're seeing from the media. It's all a lie. It's a fabrication. This video takes it step by step, and I tell you why. Why do they have progressive DAs? Why were 90% of the cases brought before them in 2024, 2025 dismissed at pretrial? 90% of the cases. Did you just hear what I said? 90% of the cases that have been brought before have been dismissed at pretrial. You want to hear something worse? 56% of the cases have been thrown out. So if we were just to assume that 56% of those cases were not tried and the DAs and the prosecutors simply just did not bring charges, then that means it's not counted as crime. Do you understand? Someone goes and shoots another human being. If there's not a crime charge, it's not counted in statistics. If it's not booked, if it's not processed, there's not a preliminary, if there's not booking, if someone is not charged, it is not counting across that. It gets put into an unsolved crime category. This is what happens. So if you're dismissing 90% to pretrial and letting them go away, and then, which means that they're counted, but they're not actually held accountable for those things because they simply just let them go. And then if DAs don't prosecute, then that means those crimes aren't even counted, 56%. So just assume that 56% of the reporting that they've done, just double it. Now that's higher than 2023, which was the highest crime spike in Washington, D.C. in 20 years. And then you have to go back all the way to 1997 to see crime that was worse than that. But if it's 56% of these cases have just been tossed out, this is the worst crime spree in D.C. history by far, and anywhere of any city in America. They're lying to you. No, the numbers are not accurate at all. It's a complete fuck it, I got to play the video. That's going to be our last 6 minutes of the show. Leeroy, did you have something before I play it?
No.
I got to play it. I did this last night. I think it's good enough, and I'll get your comment if that's okay, because I really want to get your opinion on this. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you.
Been a fun show. It's good to have you here. All right, here's the video. It's real simple. Really easy to follow, okay? And Leeroy will tell you that he's seen this style before. Pretty simple. Even these bullets on these slides, even the slide presentation. Watch this. DC crime numbers, real story behind the scenes, right? Mm-hmm. Giving you guys the straight poop, so to speak. So you've all seen this. This is DC crime statistics for 2025. And you've got violent crime down 26%, all crime down 7%, robbery down 29%, homicide down 12%, aggravated assault 20%, sexual abuse down 48%. Tim Kaine put this out.
If President Trump really cared about safety in D.C., he would have immediately developed or deployed the National Guard on January 6, 2021. It wouldn't have pardoned hundreds of rioters who broke into the Capitol that day, including individuals convicted of assaulting police officers. Crime is at a 30-year low in D.C., making these steps a waste of taxpayer dollar and an unnecessary escalation clearly designed to distract Americans from issues like rising prices and incompetence from the Trump administration. You go, Tim Kaine.
Yeah, Tim O'Kano, the man who pretends he's Mexican.
Yeah.
So I want to go over this. So in 2023, so I did some research and put it on a bullet. I'm going to try to start doing this more so people can share this stuff and get the word out. But in 2023, that was highest since 1997. Violent crime, 5,345 incidents, 20-year high. Carjackings, robberies, assaults, all surging. This is from the Metro Police Department in District of Columbia and the Department of Justice. I want to make sure I get you guys my facts. So in 2024, there was a sharp drop. Okay, but that was from a disaster peak. 2023 was absolutely the highest it's been ever. So if you look, 2024 dropped, violent crime negative 35%, 3,469 incidents, homicides 32%, 187, still higher than pre-2020 levels in several categories. So those 2024 numbers are still demonstrably high. So 2025 year-to-date versus 2024, violent crime is negative 26%, 2,138 versus 1,586. Homicides, 12%, 112 to 99. Sexual abuse, 48%, but smaller numbers. So why the slides are misleading, not this slide, but the one that we first saw. So the numbers are cherry-picked. It's a baseline. It compares to post-spike 2024, not historical averages. So it looks at that eclipse time from 2023. And so when you're comparing, just like when you look at the deficit spending during COVID, the next year we had a surplus because they didn't spend fucking $2 trillion. That was the surplus. It's not that they saved money, but Biden said, oh, we saved $2 trillion. That's a lie. He just didn't spend it like he spent it last year, so it showed a surplus. When you're going against shit numbers previous year, anything's going to look good. A shit sandwich is going to look good. So this is compared to post-spike. It's not historic averages. And in historic averages, it is still one of the highest crime rate cities in the U.S. There's no raw numbers. The percent drops hides the real scale. So let me ask you a question, Liv. If you see 48% and then 42%, you're like, oh my God, that's a 6% decrease. But what if I told you there are only 12 cases?
Then it's not really much of a, is like, what?
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
So that's a big difference. There's no seasonal snapshot. Year to date is not a full year trend. Crime goes up the longer you get into winter. Christmas time, muggings, more travel. When the temperatures decrease, starting in August, September, the crime goes and shoots through the roof. But here's what you really need to understand about this. 87% pretrial release rate on cashless bail in practice. They just passed a law in Washington, D.C. over that period of time that allowed criminals to get out for cashless bail, which means they could have bail without cash. 56% of arrests declined by prosecutors in fiscal year 2023. So you're seeing them charge less. And the thing that's from the USAO DC and the DC courts. So these aren't made up stats. These are straight from the courts that are saying they are literally almost 90% less pretrials are being dismissed. 90% of the cases are being dismissed. And then 56% of the rest declined by prosecutors. 56% of the crime. If you go ahead and add those crimes, 56% on those numbers, those are higher than COVID. Inside DC crime. DC had the fourth highest homicide rate in the United States in 2024, with a rate of 27.3 homicides per 100,000. But here's the thing. It's not a state. It's not a state.
It's a city.
If you made it a state, it would be number one per capita in the U.S. DC's homicide rate is almost 6 times higher than New York City's rate at 4.7 per 100,000 people. DC's homicide rate is almost 4 times higher than LA at 7.1. DC's homicide rate more than doubles Newark's rate of 12.2. And DC also beat out Atlanta, Chicago, Compton, and Oakland. These short-term police surges and tougher gun penalties in 24-25 had an impact, but it's not a long-term fix. If pretrial release and non-prosecution rates stay high, crime can spike again. And history will tell us that now that these criminals had absolutely no accountability and they were thrown back into the system, they're going to do it again. And the first crimes weren't charged. So the second will be, and that is the problem. They're getting a get out of jail free card. Mm. So when they're lying, the left always lies. It's all they do. There are the numbers. There are the cold hard facts. Dispute them. We got a new cover for the show, by the way. Thoughts on that, Leeroy, and then we will call her a night.
I think you did an excellent job of breaking down the actual numbers. And the thing to remember is that when the Democrats like to cite crime statistics, what they like to do is take snapshots out of time. Hi, Frank. What they do is take snapshots out of time. It's almost like, right, when you look at the stock market numbers, say the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, when things are going up for several days at a crack, and then you have a sudden dip, right? They might claim that dip, it's the lowest it's been in, and then they remain a little bit ambiguous about the actual time frame, right? But they will only cite the times where that dip is, and then the increase again. That's dishonest. That's like taking every day out of the month, right? And then using one of those days to say, "Oh my God, look how low it was on this
Can't
day,
hear Leeroy,
and
by
where
the way.
Donald and where it is now."
Okay. All right, caller. We just have a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Matt, it's Paul. I
buddy.
just wanted to
Oh, hey,
chime in
Paul.
on the whole National Guard thing. I was a member of California National Guard during the Rodney King riot.
Okay.
Damn.
We went into that city and we had our military chain of command, but our military chain of command was basically under the jurisdiction of the local law enforcement. Some of us were attached to the highway patrol. Some of us were attached to county and city law enforcement. And we did nothing without their approval.
Correct.
I don't know how DC works or how that whole situation is going, but that was my experience in LA is, yeah, you got soldiers on the street, but they can't do anything.
They had no ammo.
Without local.
They had no ammo in DC. They were running blank mags and they were running cartridge mags, non-cartridge mags.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's 100% true.
Yeah,
I spoke.
wanted.
Hold on. I spoke with DC SWAT. I spoke with the Capitol Police Department. I spoke with one MARSOC sniper and one Secret Service sniper there that day, and one or two National Guards people spoke to them, and none of them had ammo in their weapons. Not one.
Wow. Well, they wanted to do that to us in LA during Rodney King, and our commanding general, military chain of command, said, "No, you're not sending my troops into that hellhole without ammo."
Yeah.
And so we actually landed at Huey. My armory was right across the street from Santa Anita horse race track.
Yeah, I know Santa Anita.
And yeah, we landed at Huey in the parking lot of Santa Anita and packed the ammo across the street to the armory, and then we went downtown.
Paul,
we were not allowed to.
Go ahead.
We were not allowed to engage. We were not allowed to conduct any law enforcement stuff.
Yeah. What have I said to you? Cal Worthington and his dog Spot.
I lost his voice, by the way.
You lost his voice? Oh, sorry. Yeah, he was having a problem hearing you. I tried to switch the audio. So listen, Paul, yeah, I'm from Ventura, California, man. So I was there during Rodney King.
Yep.
And I was fairly young, but I remember it. Listen, Paul, thanks for calling in, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Paul.
Anytime, call in.
Thanks for what you guys do.
Appreciate
Welcome
you, bro.
back, Leeroy.
Thank you very much, Paul.
He says thank you. All right, Paul. See you
All
soon.
right.
See you,
night, guys.
Yep. Listen, good show tonight. Christine, sorry about the confusion. Barbara, sorry about the confusion. It's fine. Sometimes we cross streams. Leeroy, you got 1 minute. It's all you, buddy. Welcome back. It's your minute. That's a lovely shirt, by the way. I just
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You know, it was nice to be on a vacation, and I feel refreshed and energized and ready to get back to it. Well, you know, we talked about a lot of things tonight, everything from the violence in DC to Chinese ships that just don't seem to know how to drive. It was a really, really great show. And as always, it takes a little bit for me to get back into the swing of things. So thank you, Matt, for allowing me that
was a
grace period
lie.
to get into it.
I was just kidding, by the way. You're a fan. I just like to give you shit. So,
but beyond that, it was a great show, and thank you.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. So go over to facebook.com/The Dumb Show, Matt. You guys can follow us there. And soon, hopefully, you'll be able to follow Leeroy too one day when we get him out of government life. But stop on by. We would appreciate it. Go pick yourself up a shirt, something nice over at thedumbshow.com. Thank you for your donations. Thanks for helping us. Matt Hollanday's going through some flooding right now. Maddie, we're thinking about you. And just God bless, stay safe, and please follow what the radio says, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. It's Olivia and myself, and we've got guests. Joseph says he loves your gay shirt, Leroy. I don't know, Joseph.
Aww.
It's always, I want to hear what Leroy says. What's Leroy going to say? So if anyone's gay here, it just might be you. Just thinking, Joe. Just saying. Just might be a little gay on Leroy. Leroy, tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay with that.
Tell me what your
okay with
thoughts
that.
are,
A little
Leroy.
Barry White and some lube and who
Leroy,
knows?
look at my mic.
Sliding.
Good night, everybody.
Faster.
Thanks.
I'm
Oh,
almost there.
by the way, one last thing. Yeah, we love it too. We love Leroy here. And Joe, I'm just kidding you. I want to sleep with Leroy, so I'm just projecting. I want you guys to watch the ending video. There's a scroll there for the people who've donated. Remember, everybody on PayPal, we're going to get Venmo numbers soon, so hang with us. Don't get upset. If your name isn't there, don't get pissed and leave. Just tell me, Matt, you missed it. But we ran a spreadsheet. We had to go through thousands of donations. I think we got everybody from PayPal, and I need to add Venmo. So we'll get you taken care of. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Leroy, we'll see you on Thursday, buddy.
Yep, we'll see you in a little bit.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.